Alright guys, welcome back to Project GoodSpeed, and on today's video we're going to carry on with the CRV build, sort of. Now this is the 2001 Honda CRV, which I've owned for a little over a year and a half I think, and today we're going to be taking care of some maintenance that is long overdue. The CRV is in the process of being built, and the few things that I've already done is I've installed the Grand Cherokee Jeep front lip here, which I think looks pretty nice. I think it really makes the CRV look a little more complete in the front. And I've got full leather seats. I've got the overhead rails for, storage, and the JDM cargo covers. So nothing too crazy has been done to the CRV already, but before I can dump any more money into this, I really got to take care of the maintenance. Now, because the CRV here is a little over a year and a half old in my possession, I haven't really done any of the serious maintenance, which we're going to take care of today. We're going to do a complete oil change with Valvoline 10 weight 30 oil, which I hear good things about. I think the Valvoline has some additives that really, clears out the engine. I don't know. But we're going to go ahead and use that. I'm also going to be replacing the spark plugs with NGK copper V-Power plugs, which I think they're relatively inexpensive. I didn't want to go with the iridiums like I did with the hatchback over here because I want to see just how well they do on this. Honestly, I don't know what the difference is between plugs. I hear they're both good enough, so we're going to go ahead and give those a shot. And I'm also going to be replacing all of the filters. Cabin air filter. Ooh, look at that. Oh, that's disgusting. And the stock intake filter, we're gonna go ahead and swap those out, and you can tell this was dirtier. It should be a pretty uneventful install, to be honest. Now the cabin air filter here is pretty straightforward. I think you just need to remove the glove box and you just slide out the slot and it should go right in. The same thing with the air filter. It's just a couple bolts for the stock box and boom, you're done. Now the spark plugs, super easy also. All of this stuff is just, I think I can be done in less than an hour, to be honest with you, unless there's some kind of problem with, removing these screws for the filter or not being able to remove the oil filter. All of this stuff should be done in an hour. And with a little bit of editing, I'll have it all done and taken care of right now. So I might be just doing it while I'm voicing this over and we don't have to worry about that. One thing that is going to take some time is this. I'm going to be using silicone spray on the window slides, because they are rattling a little bit. But I'm going to have to be removing the door panels so I can access the slide. And that might be a little challenging. Now, obviously, we're going to be changing the filters here. We got the cabin air filter and the stock intake filter. So those are going to be pretty easy to swap, just a couple of screws and bolts. Dude, no way. Does this not have bolts? No way. I had my 10 mil ready. Say less. Not bad. It's not bad for well, it's a little yellowish, brownish. Well, actually, this one kind of is too. That's the difference. Not bad. You could tell this was dirtier. But, oh wait, I forgot which orientation it goes. Who cares? Look at that. Easiest air filter install ever. Now for the cabin air filter, I believe it's just these little clips here that hold the glove box in place. There's one, and there's two. I'm gonna have to remove the brace here. Darn, oh well. So here is the cabin air filter right here. Unfortunately, you guys can see there's this giant brace in the way that unfortunately does not come loose until you loosen two bolts way in there. So either this has to come off or I break this whole thing off because I can remove the cover, but the cabin air filter has to slide in, obviously. More headaches. 15 minutes later with nothing but just wrenches really, and we're done. So we can access the filter here, hopefully. I'm gonna remove this and this, and it should just slide out. Ooh, look at that. Oh, that's disgusting. That is disgusting. Just look at this. Look at the state of this. Let me show you guys a comparison, just as if you needed it. This is what it's supposed to look like. Not this. Careful not to breathe that, which is what I've been breathing the entire time I've owned the CRV. I actually installed one of these in the Honda Civic over here. For those of you who don't know, this cabin air filter was not an option for Honda Civics pre-95, I think. Even some of the 96 to 97 models didn't have it. So I swapped out the evaporator housing, everything in its entirety from a, I think it might have been a CRV or a 99 Honda Civic, one of those two. They are interchangeable. This one here is from a CRV. This is the EG hatch one in here, and this is from a EK Civic. Both of these are from a 2000 model. They look pretty similar. Obviously the only difference is these have a cabin air filter and the EG hatch does not. This is actually falling apart. You guys can see, look at that. This is supposed to have some kind of foam padding to, you know, make sure it has a perfect seal, but it's just deteriorating. And the Civic one actually has a better one, but we're not gonna worry about that. I'm gonna go ahead and just replace it and install it. Thankfully, it tells me which way the air is supposed to flow. Airflow is that way, so we match it with airflow that way. Typically, you wanna change these out before they get to this condition. Man, that is bad. You can't even see the light. Oh man, it is a mess in there. Hold on, let me get my vacuum. Everything's clean. Match the airflow now. This way. Done. Let's go ahead and close this up. Just like that. Done. Now, the much more in-depth part is the spark plugs. I went with the NGK V-Power copper plugs. These are relatively inexpensive, and I didn't really want to go with the iridiums like I did in my D series over there, but I definitely want to try these out on the CRV first because they're not that expensive. I want to see if this might be a little bit closer to what the B20 is supposed to be using. And we don't have any oil in here, thankfully. Yeah, so our gaskets seem to be good. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh wow. It's not that bad, to be honest. It looks pretty good. Probably didn't even need to be changed. But we're gonna do it anyway. I do notice a little bit of oil down by the seating position. Which means those seals might need to be replaced. Not to worry, not a very difficult job. I've done it multiple times, but we'll go ahead and address that later. Pistons 2 and 3 are probably the worst out of them all, but overall, not bad. So there is a little bit of oil, and I think the O-ring gaskets that sit by the head need to be replaced. So these are pre-gapped, and I have already checked them. So nothing to worry about except just putting them back in. Now we just need to torque these down to spec. Beep, beep, beep. Look at that, we're almost done. Now all of this stuff, right, is pretty straightforward. I'm gonna be using Valvoline's full synthetic high mileage for obviously the B20 in there. It has, I think, 180,000 miles on the odometer. And we're going with 10 weight just because the manual does recommend 5 weight, 30 or 10 weight 30, just depending on the ambient temperature. And here in California, currently is gonna start to get hot. So I wanna prepare for that, especially because the CRV is gonna be kept outside. So, you know, that ambient temperature is only gonna stay that high, you know, whereas the Civic over here is indoor kept. All that's left is the oil change and the oil filter. Just noticed this. There's a little bit of a leak. I don't know if you guys can see that through the camera. Hopefully that's just mud. Oh man. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and just clean it up and we'll take a look. We'll keep an eye on it. But I don't know where it would be coming from. There we go. Problem solved. Should do it right there. Fucking idiot. I think I found the problem. So this is the drain plug. I don't know if this is a crush washer, but it doesn't look like one. I think it's just a regular washer. I'm gonna go pick one up. So this is the OEM one. I think it looks OEM. I think what happened was, since the last time the oil was changed was probably, you know, during the winter and the rainy season, I didn't notice this, but this just does look like a regular washer. And that might be why it's causing a leak. Either way, we're gonna replace it with a whole other plug, and we got this at AutoZone, so this should do the trick. And I think this is the magnetic tip one. It's a little longer, so hopefully that doesn't cause any problems. Let's go ahead and install it. A little bit of a problem. No big deal, really. I can't get the oil filter out. I knew this was gonna happen. Just gonna have to try extra hard, but I cannot get that thing to move. So the oil filter is located right back here, but there's some hoses in the way that I can't flex my wrist. It's like I'm doing a... Oh man, it's just in this position. I can't do this. All right, it's coming. I got it. Man, that's a lot tougher than I thought. There we go. Ooh. Done. All that for this. And here's the new one. Now it's just time for the oil. And the manual says 4 quarts, so we're just gonna add 4 and call it a day. Man, I'm making a mess here, dude. Took a little longer than I had hoped, but we're done, right? Now, unfortunately, I didn't get enough time to actually grease up the joints. I think I can do that real quick, but I can't do the window slides, so that might be a video for next time, especially because I don't want to break anything and rush it, and I'm losing daylight. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. A little bit about the CRV that I have. Currently right now, I have no complaints. It is smooth, it drives easy. There's a little bit of a knocking sound, which I think has to do with the shocks. I think my shocks might start to be going bad, at least on one side, because I hear them temporarily. By and by, I feel like these are more along the lines of what you'll find here in California. But the other problem is I am getting a smell of fuel. And it's, you know, as soon as I open the door, I smell it just slightly. It's not very powerful, but I do want to address it. So I went ahead and I went to get Techron's fuel system cleaner. I'm going to go ahead and do I think it's for the entire thing, right? I hope it's... Ooh, this might be the wrong one. Shit. Pour the entire contents of 1 bottle into a nearly empty tank. I don't know what nearly means. Is a quarter tank nearly empty? Second treatment may give additional benefits. Okay, it's fine. We're gonna go ahead and, I think it's sitting just above E, so it should work. Basically, I just wanna go ahead and clean up the entire fuel system and see if that does anything really. Maybe it'll clean the injectors, or maybe this might not. It's supposed to just clean up carbon buildup. Come on. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and use this to hopefully clean up the fuel system, and maybe that'll do something. And we'll definitely just keep an eye on the system to make sure, you know, hopefully that fuel smell goes away. And I'm also gonna be using these lubricants to go ahead and touch up a few of the spots. I'm getting a lot of squeaky noises from the doors and the windows, and that's something that needs to be addressed because it's annoying. So I'm gonna go ahead and use WD-40 for all the hinges and silicone lubricant for all of the window slides, you know, because they are rattling a little bit. You know, coming out of the winter season, I wanna make sure I have no issues in the future. And part of that is, you know, preventative maintenance. So we're just going to do that with every single door, including the trunk latch and the trunk window. This should at least make some improvement. Let's see what this one sounds like. Not bad. Let's keep it that way. Latch here, okay. Definitely has bigger bolts, so hardware. Ooh. I don't know if it's my mind playing tricks on me, but it definitely feels like it's working. That's gonna be it for this video, guys. And over the next few videos, I've got a few things planned. And let me tell you guys, the tail lights and the headlights are going to be the next couple of videos, I think, because you guys can see here the CRV has some serious oxidation. I don't know why one side is worse than the other, but we're going to have to address that. And the tail lights are leaking water, so we got to replace the tail light fluid to make sure that doesn't happen. And the other thing that I want to do is I want to go ahead and give the whole CRV a nice detailing, which includes a wash, clay bar, and wax, and not polish. I'm going to do a polishing and hopefully restoration of pretty much the entire top side of it, because that's where most of the color fading is. The other thing that I want to do is take a crack at the trim here. You guys see the discoloration? That should be black, not gray. At least I think I can make it look black with the right restoration. And I think I also want to paint the front bumper. You guys see where it is, this line right here goes up and across. I think I can paint that red to match the body. And obviously that requires more research, but I'm gonna go ahead and do that on a separate video. None of these are in any particular order, so I might swap things around here and there, just depending on what I can source first and what I feel like doing. So stay tuned for those next couple videos. If anyone knows any particular solution to the fuel, if you guys notice anything I should do, like I said, it's not really a strong smell. It's not all the time. I smell some fuel when I'm getting out of the car, and I'd like to fix that. But if you guys know, put it down in the comment section. Also, if you guys have any, suggestions on other upgrades and other DIY stuff you can do to CRVs, let me know, put it in the comment section, because I think I just laid out my entire plan for the CRV. I just don't know which order is going to come out in, Maybe get the windows tinted. Actually, that's definitely going to happen, but not by me. I'm going to pay someone to do that. I don't want to mess that up. Until next time, guys, take care and Goodspeed.